wellness isn't a trend. It's always been there. But I feel like nowadays it's become a response to the fast-paced life everybody's living. For people to live a healthier life, I think they shouldn't go into those optimize more, do more, let's add one more workout routine, a new workout modality, a new morning ritual, a new supplement here and there because it's a trend.
For around 15 years, I fought my depression through adventure. What I mean by that is I put myself in situations that were extremely tough. I wanted people to go to Mongolia and ride horses for 3 days and not shower for 3 days and actually understand what it's like to be a nomad. So imagine when you come back after these trips, how abundant you feel you are.
Our motto in Yogiventures, it's seek beyond, and it's beyond your comfort zone. It's like experiencing discomfort in a way where the discomfort is a challenge that can give you this breakthrough.
Today, I'm joined by Serah and Nader, the founders of Ohana Space Yoga and the Yogiventures. Together, they've built a community around yoga, adventure, and retreats, creating experiences across places like Bali, Mongolia, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Kilimanjaro, and beyond. In this episode, we're going to talk about yoga beyond the physical practice, what actually happens on one of the Yogiventures retreats, why travel can be such a powerful reset, and how community changes the way people experience health, movement, and themselves. Serah, Nader, welcome to the weigh-in.
Beautiful intro, man.
Thank you for having us.
How are you guys?
Full power.
For those in the audience who don't know you, can you tell us a bit about who you are and what you do?
Thank you for the beautiful intro. As you said, my name is Serah. I'm the founder of Ohana Space Yoga and the co-founder of Yogiventures with my husband Nader. And I didn't set yoga as a career path. It just happened practice after practice. It didn't change my life. It actually changed the way I experienced life, and it was why I wanted to share this practice with others. And it started through some garden practices that moved into an idea of opening up a studio, and then across my path I met Nader and we started growing this vision together. And our mission goes way beyond just the practice of yoga on the mat, but how can we take people into experiencing life beyond what they know of life, and how to go beyond their limitations as well through the practice and through adventures as well.
Yes, hi Steve, my name is Nader Diab. I'm the husband of Serah. I co-founded with Serah Yogiventures and co-founded Ohana Space Beirut. To be honest with you, like Serah said, for me, I found yoga, obviously, through Serah. I started my yoga journey in a climbing gym. I used to go to this indoor climbing gym, and they had yoga classes, so I started practicing yoga. I wasn't too invested in yoga, but then I was very invested in traveling. I'm a travel photographer. I was a travel blogger for a while, and I was trying to build my life around traveling. And I chose different careers with traveling, but then in 2000, and I was living in Canada, and in 2019, when I moved back to Lebanon, it was just a visit actually, and I met Serah, and I went to one of her yoga classes and completely fell in love with the space, with the way she was teaching, with the way she was holding space, and we sat down together and we came with this crazy idea of just starting yoga and adventure retreats. She's like, "You're an adventurer, I'm a yogi, let's take people on a journey." And for me, it just felt extremely right. I did not know where I was going to go after that, but I felt like this was the right calling for me. And that's how I actually started my yoga journey and my traveling journey with Serah. So yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Serah, you are a yoga teacher. You've been teaching and practicing for many years. What has this journey of you teaching yoga taught you about people?
So many things. So many things, but the thing that stands out is we're not very different. People think we're too different, and we all have our own hardships, and nobody understands what we're going through. But when you come into the space of this collective practice of yoga, and where you see people being challenged on the mat and the way they face their challenges, you start to understand how everybody's similar, how we're all passing through the same challenges together. And the practice and this community gives people this outlet to feel more connected to themselves and to others. And yeah, that's the main highlight of just like this collective hardship that we all have, and that we can all heal that hardship together and through yoga or through other practice. But the more we come together, the more we can be able to attain those, to empower each other actually in those challenges.
Nice.
Yeah.
And for the audience, many of whom have never heard of yoga, what is yoga, and what are the different types of yoga that people should be aware of? When we say yoga, what exactly is it that we're talking about?
Yeah, I know everybody thinks yoga is mind, body, spirit, but it goes way beyond those three words that are like the general sense of what yoga is. But I feel yoga is in everything, and you don't do yoga. It's like something that you live, that you embody. And you can practice it through the physical practice. There are practices like vinyasa, ashtanga, hatha, where the body is the outlet to come into a meditative state. And then you have yin yoga and meditation, some softer practices that soothe you into this meditative state. But also there's the practice of connection, of love, of compassion that actually bring people together and take you into that state where you feel also in a meditative state. So I feel like yoga is many outlets, but for the general audience, if you've never practiced yoga before, you don't have to be flexible to be able to come to class. It actually gives you the outlet to become more flexible, whether it's physically, whether it's through your mind, through the way you face your life. You don't have to be strong to come to practice. Also, the practice will build up that strength. The more you show up, the more you're disciplined, will build up the strength again, physically, through the mind and through the heart. So the practice does reinforce. The more you're disciplined with it, the more you show up to it continuously, the more it gives you space, not just to tap into physical strength and flexibility and empowerment, but also beyond that through your mind, through the way you face everything in life.
Super interesting.
Yeah.
Very insightful, actually. So, from the lens of a yogi, how do you think people can live healthier lives?
I think for people to live a healthier life, I think they shouldn't go into those optimize more, do more, let's add one more workout routine, a new workout modality, a new morning ritual, a new supplement here and there because it's a trend. I feel it's just to connect more to their habits and to see what habits are working for them and what habits aren't working for them. And it's a very personal experience, I feel. And the more connected you are to your body, the more you can like listen to your body. I know it's a cliche way to express it, but listening to your body is really being intuitive about like what you're doing in terms of movement. Does it feel good? Then I should do more of that. What am I having as a morning ritual? Does it feel good? Should I continue with that path, or I should shift things around? So it's just being more aware and listening more to how the body feels and reacts to certain habits and shifting from there, and not like having to go through a list of like the trend is this and we should follow through those trends.
Yeah, I think we both know this from first-hand experience, and I've seen it in so many others, that when we discover the practice of yoga and when we start practicing yoga consistently and regularly, it just teaches us so much about ourselves and naturally makes us inclined to take healthier choices in life, eat better, because we start to really feel the difference between living healthily and living unhealthily.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's super interesting.
Yeah, definitely. When you're connected to your body more, you're more aware of everything that you put into your body or everything that you experience. You would notice the instant shifts because you are really more connected, as you said, to your body as well. So yeah.
So this comes as one of the, let's say, the benefits of yoga, which is the cultivation of mindfulness, right? And understanding your body, understanding your physical body, your how you're feeling, and the ability of interoception, if we wanted to use the technical term. So obviously there are many benefits to yoga as well that come from the many different practices as well. What are some of the health benefits of yoga, let's say?
All right. So first off, as we said, like the connection to the body. One, you're more connected and more intuitive, so you make better choices every day. And as well, the practice of yoga, when you show up on your mat and practice consistently, there is also a huge shift in the way you breathe and the way you give your breath capacity in the body and the way you allow the breath to give you more spaces to whether you want to react to something or the way you approach something in life. It gives you a better reaction with your breath as well. So you're more in connection with the breath and with your body. And as well, it does hydrate your fascia as well, your connective tissue. It lengthens your muscles, it strengthens your muscles, because the practice of yoga embodies this duality of strength and softness, of grace as well, and more fierceness. So there's always this balance. So you're always finding that strength through the body, through the muscles as well, and through length as well, through the fascia, which are your connective tissue, which allows you to release any like tension that has been built up years after years after years. So you can actually start to reform the way your body shows up in practice, in the way you move, in the way you breathe, in the way you drive. So it does affect like everything you do, but showing up on your mat consistently, that's what like the practice, this is where it starts from.
Super interesting.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of these are things that we've recently learned and validated through modern science. But these are practices which are thousands of years old for some of them. And so obviously there are many things that modern science has not yet captured about, let's say, the health benefits of yoga.
Yeah. First off, modern science did back up the benefits of yoga, as you said, like because yoga for many people might stand out as a spiritual practice, but I feel like in the modern days, science has validated why those practices really benefit the body, really benefit the mind, really benefit your parasympathetic system, affects your breath, affects your muscles, your nervous system, your digestive system, even your hormones. Everything is connected because we are focusing on mindfulness, on breath, on taking those moments of awareness and also moving your body, which is like medicine in itself. But what I think modern science doesn't capture, and I feel like it's something that is more felt than is measured, because science is like all about facts and measuring stuff. I feel it's more about this internal personal growth that one has when he shows up to the practice. It's about having a better intuition. It's about as well listening to your body. It's something that cannot be measured. It's only felt. Connection to others, maybe a better intuition as well. Those are things that I feel like science cannot measure, or maybe didn't find a way to measure them yet. But yeah, there are things that can only be felt when they are experienced.
Amazing. Let's switch gears a bit, okay? So obviously, as Yogiventures, you organize some of the world's best retreats, the best yoga and adventure retreats globally, as recognized by TripAdvisor from the years 2022 up until this year. And in fact, just as of half an hour ago, you won the
2026
Traveler's Choice Award for 2026. Yes. So you're obviously doing something right, okay? Tell us a bit about some of your retreats. Tell us a bit about what Yogiventures retreat is.
So the Yogiventures retreat is a combination of, like you said, yoga, adventure, wellness, community. And then when we started doing retreats, you know, we came together with both our passions, and we thought that this is a good balance, you know, yoga. So Serah does the yoga, I do the adventure, and we take people on these journeys. And then a few years in, we started realizing that, yes, we're going scouting to all these beautiful locations, from Bali to Mexico to Sri Lanka. We're going to all these destinations, and we're trying to find the best hotel and trying to find the best yoga shala. And we want to make sure that everybody is having an amazing experience. And obviously, that's a very important part. You know, people want to be comfortable. They want to be in a setup that is beautiful. But then we started realizing that what people are connecting, what people are happy about is the people themselves in the retreat and the connections that were being made. And we also realized that whenever Serah and I were comfortable holding space in a retreat is when we see people being happy, waking up early, coming to the practice, even if they're going biking in Jatilui between the rice fields. They're just caring about biking together rather than being solo. Even if we're doing a water blessing, they want to take a picture, all of them together. These are small things that we started realizing, and we started reflecting on these things, and we're like, okay, so this is really the essence of a successful yoga retreat. Yes, we're very happy and very proud to have won the TripAdvisor Traveler's Choice 5 years in a row. And it does come with hard work, but also our responsibility is also to showcase what we're doing and to ask people to write reviews. And they were just writing legitimate reviews on this platform. And yes, we also wanted to take that platform to be international, but we also realized that there are a lot of people in our region that actually would want to come together. And yes, we invite people from all over the world, but at this very time being, we're attracting people from the Middle East. And, people are coming together and they're just connecting over the yoga and over the adventure and over the physical aspect of going out and adventuring and hiking and trekking and all that. But again, it comes always back to people connecting with one another. That's a very important part is in the work that we do in the Welcome Circle. But even it starts when people start inquiring about the retreat. They call us up, they want to get the guidebook. We're always happy to go on a call to explain. I think the human connection is extremely important. And in a nutshell, that's what the Yogiventures retreats are about.
Amazing. So I would love to know, what's something that you learned from one of these retreats about the human condition? I can't think of one example, but I can tell you, for example, we do have a lot of mom-daughter coming to our retreats, and it's amazing how sometimes they come together and you feel that, yes, they are a mother and daughter, but they have their differences and they're not always, connecting, and they're kind of, judging each other because they're comfortable saying to each other, oh, don't do this, mom, don't do that, you shouldn't do this. And then when they come to that retreat, it's like the bond between the mother and the daughter becomes so strong because both of them are being vulnerable. So the daughter is watching her mom being vulnerable, vice versa. And that for me is beautiful to watch and beautiful to see when you know that you're reinforcing bonds. And another example is we do have a lot of solo travelers, and that's something that we witnessed when we started doing the retreats. I'm like, oh my God, it's nice. Lebanese people usually are like, let me see if my friends are coming and I'll book. And I'm like, no. I would love for you to bring a friend. It's good to bring a friend, but I would love for you also to come by yourself and meet other people. And then I guess that's also how you build a community. There are different ways of building a community. And I know community today, the word itself is too mainstream. But I guess also people understood that building a community or building a group of people that are coming and being supported by all these practices is what makes it solid, right? Is what people want to come and witness. And it's also, to end on that, it's also showing when people are approaching us to come to our retreats, they're not like, I want to see where we're going, I want to know the adventures. Oh, I like what I've heard so much about what you guys are doing in terms of community work, and I have a lot of friends that felt so comfortable coming to your retreats, and I want to come. So I
want to add to that as well.
Please go.
When you were talking about the mother-daughter experience as well, my mom has attended so many of our retreats, and it did allow me to see my mother as her own, as a woman who isn't just my mother, who also is a girl, who also had her own experiences and journeys, and to get to where she is right now. And this is a very beautiful thing to witness, because it does allow each person that shows up to see everyone as a human on their own journeys, getting into their own experiences or their own vulnerabilities, and to always have that compassion for one another. And one thing that stands out with me when it comes to a moment in our retreats where it just was an aha moment that I'm on the right path and we're doing the right thing was one of our first ever retreats. We were in Turkey, and there was a girl that was afraid to jump into the ocean. And she was standing at the edge of the boat, and we were just encouraging her lightly, and she jumped into the ocean for the first time. And for her, it was like an
hour
huge...
later.
Yeah, it was a huge milestone for her, which is amazing. And just that was a testament that we are creating the right space for people to feel safe, to feel vulnerable, and to really allow themselves to take time in their healing journey. And to witness that was like a blessing in itself. So yeah, and it continued to more and more and more leaps of faith of people leaving their jobs, shifting their careers, or shifting their entire life. But that was like, because of its simplicity, it was so beautiful to witness. So yeah.
What is it about retreats that create these transformative experiences where some people take life-changing decisions, some people come back and they have a completely different way of life? What is it, do you think? And maybe we can tie this into some of, let's say, the benefits or the health benefits of yoga and adventure retreats like the ones you organize.
So what I realized over the years, that the health benefit of a retreat is the discipline that you're giving to yourself throughout the whole retreat, right? Whether it's a 9-day journey or a 7 or a 10, or whether you're hiking, or whether it's a more inwards retreat, there's discipline. We are putting discipline. People have to wake up at 7, they practice, they fast, then they have a very healthy breakfast. They take some time to relax. We encourage people not to smoke. We encourage people not to drink. We encourage people to not be on their phones. We actually encourage people to not even take pictures during the retreat. That's partially my job. But I think when you're creating that environment for yourself for 9 days, soon enough you start realizing that if I live my life every day like this, I'm going to be healthy, right? So that's one aspect. The other aspect is that you're giving permission to other people to enter your space, and for them to listen to you, and for you to actually, tell your stories, or if you have any, traumas or whatever, because people feel vulnerable and they feel comfortable to share, right? So imagine you live your life like this. Imagine in your surroundings with your neighbors every day. You wake up, you knock on his door, you're like, let's go run, and then you come back and you eat healthy, and then you share your stories, and that would be an ideal scenario, right? Some people do it. Yogis do it, shamans do it, and then people that live in, in all these temples, they do it. They commit their life to discipline. And basically that's what we are trying to bring in terms of health benefit in the retreat. That's on a kind of a physical aspect. On a mental aspect, and I think that's where most the adventure comes in, but the yoga comes in. But I'll let Serah talk about the yoga aspect. In terms of adventure, for around 15 years, I fought my depression through adventure. What I mean by that is I put myself in situations that were extremely tough, like when I went tree planting and I stayed for over 7 months in North Canada planting trees. I was physically exhausted, mentally exhausted. When I crossed from Mongolia to China for 6 weeks, I came back and I was physically and mentally exhausted, nothing booked, nothing planned, just putting myself out there. When I hitchhiked in South America, and these are some of the stuff that I did. And when we came up with the idea of Yogiventures, that's exactly what I wanted people to understand. I wanted people to go to Mongolia and ride horses for 3 days and not shower for 3 days, and actually understand what it's like to be a nomad. You're not going to be a nomad. You're going to come back to your daily life, and you're going to have a bathroom and a shower and a bed. And we take this for granted. So imagine when you come back after these trips, how abundant you feel you are. And I think that on the mental side works its magic, because you're like, you actually start embodying that. It doesn't last a lot, a good period of time, but the time that it lasts, it helps you understand. And that's why people come back to retreats. We have a lot of people that do come back, not because of the destination again, not because they want to experience something new. So I guess on the adventure aspect, but there's also the yoga aspect for me that is powerful. So.
Very well said. So our motto in Yogiventures, it's seek beyond, and it's beyond your comfort zone. It's like experiencing discomfort in a way where the discomfort is a challenge that can give you this breakthrough. And for some people, the challenge is waking up at 7 a.m. and showing up on the mat and practicing for usually in retreats, our practices are long, between like 2 hours, 2 hours and a half, because we take people on an immersive journey and they practice twice a day. And this discipline and this devotion to show up on the mat consistently every day, and we don't give it as a choice for people. We're like, you have to show up because this is part of the work that you're showing up for. So for some people it is the mat and showing up on the mat, and this is where most of the breakthroughs happen. And you would think that it's in the adventure, but it's on the mat where people like start to realize that they really passed a certain threshold or a certain box that they put themselves into, or the layers that have been put on them because they had to be in a certain way because of society, or they had to show up in a certain way. So this is like the challenge they have on the mat and in the yoga practice. And it's easier to do it within the retreat because everybody is showing up. Like, they encourage each other. Everybody's showing up. We're there. We hold them with so much compassion. And there's one saying we say at the end of the retreat, that like, this is not real life. This was a bubble that you were testing if you carry this bubble with you into your own life, and you really apply those, as Nader was saying, throughout your like small daily habits, or the next time you see your neighbor and you smile at them and you show them that same compassion you showed that person with you in the circle. This is where you can start to shift your life, to change your life, whether it's like on this mental aspect that will affect you physically, and vice versa.
And I can proudly say that, you know, because people came on so many of our retreats, and I'm talking about students that are teachers today, living here in Lebanon or abroad, they came to our retreats, and then I remember very well most of them at the end of the retreat, they're like, I don't want to go back home, this is so good. And my answer is, our answer, but the answer is like, This is like, you can take this and apply it back home. How do you apply it? Change your lifestyle, change your friends, change your surrounding, change your habits. Go do a teacher training, come back and travel. Make this your life. You know, like for us, it wasn't presented, but it was just, you know, it was. I don't want to say it's an opportunity, but it's life choices that we took that brought us to where we are today. And for me, those life choices were around, you know, traveling and connecting with people. And that's what I was doing through my traveling. And that's actually how I connected with Serah. A lot of people ask us, how did you connect? We connected through, she texted me on my travel blog. I replied. We realized that, she realized that I'm Lebanese. I'm like, amazing. I came back to Lebanon. We connected. And I always made the effort in human connection, you know, connecting with people that reach out to me on my travel blog. Try to invite them, try to just create this relationship. I also want to thank Couchsurfing for being creative. But what I'm trying to say is that, you know, this is, you know, retreats, yoga spaces, all these elements or all these locations that we're creating for people is just for people to understand what is all about, this is all about. It's just all about living a healthy life and just doing the right choices. Awesome. Amazing.
So let's change gears, shift it back. So obviously, as Yogiventures, you're organizing retreats. And these days we hear a lot about wellness retreats, and the wellness industry as a whole has grown a lot and has become very trendy, many different physical practices and wellness practices. So
spaces as well.
Wellness spaces, all of this. So why do you think that is, and why now?
Yeah, I think wellness isn't a trend. It's always been there. But I feel like nowadays it's become a response to the fast-paced life everybody's living, wanting to do more, to achieve more. Because of the media, you can like see everything everyone is doing, and you want to compare yourself, and you want to achieve more than the other person's achieving. And it's beautiful to dream and want to achieve, but at the same time, sometimes we overdo it and we arrive into a burnout. And that's, like, those are the people that show up to our retreats, are people who are burnt out, that work so much. And they just need a space to pause. They need a space to just be able to not think about doing the next step. That's why they come to organize retreats, because they want something to be organized for them. And like for our retreats in specific, you know, there's so many retreats all over the world and so many wellness spaces all over the world. And we all share the practice in a different way, but we have the same message. And for us, the way we like to share it is giving people the space to practice yoga, to be in nature and to be in community, as we mentioned before. And I feel like those pillars really give people the space to like slow down their rhythm and start to really realize what's going on in their mind and who they are, because we think who we are is as a result of all of the layers that we have from family, from work, from media, from this comparison. And I feel like people are resorting to those spaces because this is where they start to like, oh, one layer out, and they're like, okay, now I know more who I am, and they start to show up to their lives in a way that's more connected to their own truth. And I feel like that's why nowadays people want to know the truth about themselves and to slow down their rhythm. And those are the two pillars that I feel like are attracting people mostly to the space. And connection. People love people, and we're made to connect with each other and to connect with nature and beings everywhere. So I feel like this is the aspect, so many aspects, but yeah.
At least it's a healthy trend, if you want to call it a trend. At least it's a healthy trend.
Is, exactly.
Agreed. Some people jump on the trend,
rather
and obviously
do that than anything else.
Yeah, some people they jump on the trend, they see an opportunity in it, and there's no wrong in that, right? If you want to open a business around creating a health space or, like a wellness club, I think it's extremely valid as long as people are benefiting from that. And I guess, people, when they enter those spaces, there's something that changes, whether they're doing a workout or they're doing a cold plunge or they're doing an ecstatic dance or whatever it is, I think, as long as it doesn't involve unhealthy habits, then it's good. It's good for you, I mean, yeah.
Totally agreed.
Yeah.
On this topic, let's say someone was looking to live healthier. Would you recommend someone to just do yoga, or do you think it is not complete as a physical practice for one's physical well-being?
Yeah, I feel like I personally do a lot of practices, and first off, I started yoga because of the physical practice, didn't you? I don't know.
We all did. Most people. I think most people discover.
Maybe at that point in my life, it was the thing that attracted me to the practice, but then learning more about the practice itself, and as I told at the beginning, how it was changing the way I live my life, that attracted me to go deeper and deeper into the practice. But I love moving my body. Like, movement for me is like the constant thing that grows with me, and I'm curious about a lot of ways of moving, and yoga gives me this curiosity because it allowed me to explore my body in a way. It was like, ooh, I can do that. And it gave me the strength and the trust and the courage, so that now when I go climbing, I have that courage and that mindfulness. And now when I go to the gym and I work out and I lift weights, I do it with purpose, and I have certain goals, whether it is physical or not physical. Like, having physical goals isn't wrong, even if you're a yogi. Like, you need to work on your temple, which is your body. But what yoga gives you is beyond that. It gives you the courage as well to go into different movement modalities as well. And I encourage people to do everything, but start someplace. And I do encourage that they show up on their mat, not just at the gym, because it will open a huge array of movement modalities just by practicing yoga.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love everything about what you said. Let's move on to the section of the podcast called The Protocol. This is where we learn a bit more about you, your own practices, your own routines, and your opinions on certain things. So, Nader, we'll start with you. What's your morning routine? First 60 to 90 minutes, no filter.
So my morning routine is usually I wake up and I do laundry. And I'm serious. Sometimes I wake up and I meditate, but yeah, I guess also when I'm doing these little things around home, just to wake up my body, because I'm always on the run. I always have a bazillion calls. I'm always, we work a lot, so obviously because we are managing different spaces and retreats but yeah, when I wake up, I try to wake up my body by doing these small things, and then, I kiss my wife and I say good morning, and then I kiss my dog, and then I start with my day. But I start with my day by just doing my calls and finishing up my stuff, and usually in the afternoon, that's when I head to the spaces. I love to do my wife's classes.
You missed your coffee and your
I miss my coffee today,
morning
yeah.
biscuit.
I like my coffee in the morning, and I like my chocolate biscuit, but that I stopped. I like my dates. Anyway, I try as much as I can to not look at my phone in the morning. I put it on airplane mode. Genius
hack.
Genius hack. And then in the afternoon I practice, and that's mainly how my day goes.
Nice.
Yeah, I drive a lot. I go to a lot of places. I do a lot of meetings, but I really enjoy. I enjoy everything that I do. I enjoy really everything that I do. I enjoy every call that I do. I'm very grateful to be able to do that. And on retreats, I like retreats because I'm even more disciplined. 6:30 I have to wake up. 6:30 I have to wake up. I have to go set up the shala, make sure everybody's up, and I like that. I like this routine. Wherever we are, for example, in Bali, wake up, you walk through the rice fields. Every time I wake up in Bali and I'm going to the shala, I'm like, what an amazing job, So yeah.
Maybe you can take a page out of the book that you were reading from earlier and let these practices from the retreats translate into your daily life as well. So.
Yes.
Serah, morning routine?
Morning routine. As a yoga instructor, I do not wake up and meditate the first thing in the morning. I actually maybe do, but in my own way. So I wake up, water, and then I have my electrolytes with collagen, and then I walk my dog, and without my phone. So that's my meditation, being in nature, listening to nature, waking up as well. And sometimes it's 15 minutes, sometimes it's 30 minutes, and that's like one of my favorite parts of the day. And then I come back and I do my coffee and I sit in silence. So I do wake up like at least 2 hours before him, just to have, I like to just sit in silence and not have to think or do anything. And some days I read 5 pages from a book that I'm reading. Yeah.
Most days you read.
Most days. I forgot about that. Yeah, I read.
I walk Shanti at night, in case anybody is wondering.
Yeah, we take shifts
she's
with the
afraid
dog.
of walking the dog at night, yeah.
Nice.
Shout out to Shanti.
Shout out, Shanti. What is, Nader, one of your health habits that you would never compromise on?
Just being outdoors, I guess.
That's a good one.
Being outdoors, traveling, just always doing something,
Being active.
Yeah, I've been active since I was 0. So always, always doing something.
That's a good one.
Okay, yes, it's important to work out. It's important to do yoga, but also being active, being outdoors, creating also a healthy life where, you enjoy what you do. Because when you enjoy what you do, you're active, When you enjoy what you do, and when it's also related to the outdoors, that's mainly what's always in the back of my mind. What's the next trip? What's the next retreat? What is the upcoming destination that we're gonna go explore? Yes, we travel 6 times, 7 times per year, and we're still going to these destinations. And I guess that is my anchor when I come back. It's like, okay, what's the next retreat that we're going to? The next trip, the next adventure, but also. Here at home in Lebanon, we live in the mountains, so we're always outdoors, like walking the dog as well. These are like small things, going for a walk.
Serah, what's your health habit?
Moving the body in any way, at least once a day.
Okay, Serah, what's the most overrated advice that you hear spreading online?
optimization. Like take that many supplements, eat that much protein, work out that much hours per day. And I've mentioned it before. I feel like listen to your body, and like this over adding of rituals and habits and things of wellness that we should do is like overrated.
That's a good one. Nader?
Yeah, same answer, honestly. You know, like when you're overdoing, you know, when you're overdoing and when you're giving advice that this is how you should lead your health and these are the habits and these are the food that you should eat. No, everything is in balance, right? Everything is, you just have to perfectly balance. So I always say that to students when they come. They're like, oh, but I can't come. I have work and I have this and I go to the gym. I'm like, I'm not asking you to come do yoga 7 days a week. Come once a week. It's more than enough. Yeah, but if for me to feel that, I've been told, no, just come once. And already you're doing a great step, you know. And like
Awesome.
Everything in life.
Yeah, totally
Just
agreed.
don't overdo it.
Totally agreed. But
Yeah.
then let's flip the coin. So what is, let's say, the most underrated advice, or what's the best advice that's spreading online?
You know, with trends on social media and what you follow and what you like, you're always getting all these different advices and trends, and there's no right advice. You just have to, like Serah said at the middle of the podcast, you just have to find what you like and just apply it, you know. There's no like best advice or there's no best trend. You know, you can try something, you can try yoga and not like it, and that's fine. You can go try and love Pilates, or you can go try rock climbing and you're like, oh wow, I just discovered that. You know, I can't think of an answer to that specific question other than that.
Serah?
I think being in nature, like going out every day and just feeling the air on your skin or the sun on your face or the sand in your toes, wherever you are, in the beach or on the mountain. Just there's a lot of like talk about nature being like your medicine, and I really highly believe in that. And just like even if it's just 5 minutes in nature, I feel that's
I actually have
healing
one.
modality.
Walking barefoot.
Yeah.
Being in nature, walking barefoot, very yogi of both.
Barefoot. Anytime you can walk barefoot, walk barefoot.
Serah, what's your guilty pleasure? We're human, right? Even as a yogi, you
Yeah,
must have
there's
one.
so many. It's just not I can't pick one. I have dropped so many guilty pleasures, which are smoking, drinking. I haven't been doing any of those for the past 3 years. So now my guilty pleasures are desserts, and now in summer it's mostly ice cream.
We love ice cream.
Yeah.
Ice cream is the best.
She got me hooked on ice cream. I hated ice cream for like 15
Is this
years.
also your answer?
So good.
No.
What was your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure is sushi.
Oh,
True.
Love sushi.
sushi is great.
I'm always debating myself whether it's healthy or not, because there's a lot of salt and there's a lot of raw food in it. But
Healthy is
It's healthy,
yeah,
yeah,
it's a
it's
stretch.
healthy.
It's a-
Balance.
it's
one of
stretch.
your
Now when you get a
sides.
kidney stone, but yeah.
All right, to land the episode, what's
Yeah.
one thing that you would like to leave the audience with today? Serah, we'll start with you.
One advice I would give to anyone watching right now, you're where you're supposed to be, and just take it one step at a time. We all want to grow, we all want to change. Just allow your journey to be very mindful, and this is how you can attain your dreams and your goals.
Barney. I guess, if you watch this episode and you feel like I want to be there, I want to change something, I want to learn. It's just like start now. If you're not happy where you are, change your habits, change your friend circle, start something new, go on a trip, go volunteering, do something that will put you out of your comfort zone, and you're gonna question everything that you're doing.
Sure.
And once you question what you're doing, find the answers. Don't stop there. Oh, am I happy? No. Find the answers. And if you can't find the answers, then find people that can help you find the answers. Whether it's us or people out there, just find somebody that can help you find these answers.
Awesome. Any call-outs or shout-outs you'd like to make before we end?
I would like to give a shout out to our beautiful teachers and to our beautiful staff
And students that keep showing up.
I was gonna do teachers and stuff, and you're gonna do teachers. No, but I mean, the shout out to everybody that has ever entered our circles, our spaces, that has taught, that has given, that has cried. Everybody that is part of this beautiful collective that is Ohana, Yogiventures, Nader, Serah, Steve, everybody. It's not about us. It's about the whole thing. It's about the whole community.
I wanted to say the same thing. Like everybody that trusted us to show up in our retreats or in the space and just allowed us to guide them in their journey, whether it's teachers, students, or people who work with us and who have supported us for so many years. So yeah, thank you.
I want to thank my mom and my dad.
How can the audience reach you or connect with you if they'd like to?
On our social media channels, Ohana Space Yoga for our yoga space, the Yogiventures for retreats, and personally, Serah, Naturaleza, and
Papi Bear. And you are welcome to come to our spaces in Matan, Beirut, Batroun. أهلا وسهلا فيكم.
Amazing. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Steve.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you for listening to The Way In podcast. Make sure to leave us a follow or subscribe on the platform on which you're listening. Thanks.